Welcome to episode 118 of the Quick Time Event Podcast. I am one of your hosts, Josh, and as always, I am joined by my partner in crime, John.
That be me.
Quick Time Event is a chance for John and I to get together each and every week to talk about all of the nerdy things that we love. If you like what you hear, you can find us live on twitch.tv/CDRMagnus every Thursday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time, or on all of your favorite podcast services all across the internet shortly after the live show ends. This week, we're going to be talking about the PS5 user interface leaked to... It didn't leak. It leaked, I guess, a couple weeks ago, but it came out formally today. We have a weird PS4 System Software update that borked a lot of people, so we're going to cover that for a little bit. We're going to talk launch lineups, and GameStop's back in the news for some reason, so we'll cover all of that. But before we get there, what you been up to, John?
Oh boy, have I been up to some stuff. I can't remember. I think I mentioned it last time, but I did start The Great Pretender.
Yeah. Oh, you did not. You told me that in a text.
Brilliant. Love it.
How far are you?
Just the style is so great.
It's so good.
Like it's truly, there's nothing else out like it currently. It is very reminiscent of Cowboy Bebop, but like with modern day technology and animation abilities.
Yeah, and the color scheme is just so great. It's like 80s neon pastel. It's so good.
Yeah. It's such high quality. I am on the, I guess they're split into like heists.
Yes.
So I am on the second heist.
Okay. That's the fighter jet one, or the
dog fight, which is really just racing.
Yeah, the racing one.
Yeah. I was going to probably get through it tonight, but we'll see.
Yeah, it's
we'll
great.
See how long this goes.
It's great because so the third arc, which is the last arc that's out right now, it's basically each character gets an arc.
Okay, yeah.
And so the third arc is more emotional. It tugs at your heartstrings a little bit.
Well, I would imagine, because like the first arc, it's introducing a lot of characters. The second arc, I can tell who it's gonna focus on.
Sure.
Based on some of the like war style flashbacks that have been happening.
Straight up war style.
Literal war style flashbacks.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, I imagine that like after we've met the characters, we're gonna have some serious character development. So yeah, the third one, it's gonna mess me up.
It's good.
I finished a pretty major arc, at least I think. I'm on a couple different Discords, and like one of them has a lot of people who love One Piece. And so I finished one of the first really emotional arcs, which is the Arlong Park arc. And man, it was so fulfilling just to watch it through. I probably watched it back in the day, but like didn't really remember that much about it other than a couple characters. So that has been going on. I got in a little scuffle. I don't know if it shows up very much, but on my eye.
Yeah, what's that?
So I riled my dog up.
Uh-oh.
And in case you don't know, dog skulls are really hard. Because we were playing and like she was jumping on and off the bed and then off on the bed, then off the bed. And then she just like went off the bed, gave herself some room, sprinted full force. And like usually when she does that, she zips right past me. Nah, this time she went head on. She nailed me in the head. Actually broke skin with how hard she hit me. I mean, it wasn't malicious. She didn't mean it. We were playing, like I had her toy.
Sure.
But I just didn't think to get out of the way from this just speeding bullet of a creature.
I always I don't know what it's like. Like, how does a blunt object, I'm assuming your dog's head's not sharp, right?
No, it's not.
How does a blunt object break skin?
I don't know.
I've always
like
wondered that.
I was expecting this little bit by my eyelid where it's like purplish. And it's bruising. That makes sense. But like this little spot right next to my eye, that was it. It didn't bleed much, but there was a little bit of blood out there, and I was like, "How did this happen? This wasn't your teeth. This was like the top of your skull,
Right.
which is covered in fur.
Yeah.
Like this, I don't quite understand it. Naturally, she was fine. She probably shook it off after maybe 5 seconds
Oh,
of
sure.
disorientation.
Yeah.
But I was like, oh, I need to wash this. I need to get some ice. I need to lay down.
I need to take some Advil, just go to bed early tonight, maybe not go to work for the next few days.
Yeah. So dog heads, very, very, very hard. Dogs are like rocks. They are smart as rocks and hard as rocks.
They also can be liquid though.
They can be, yeah. They can
Dogs
100%
exist
be
in
liquid.
all states of matter.
It's true. You'll love
Janet
it.
Janet brought a tweet to my attention the other day that a Shiba is basically a dog running on cat software with a dolphin soundboard installed. That's what a Shiba Inu is, and it's pretty much accurate.
Yeah, that's true. I would agree with that. As for games, I have been playing. Oh, did I play a third game? So I finally started. Not Persona 5. Get your hopes out of here.
No. The way you just said that, the way you inflected it, it reminds me of a very specific Leslie Knope moment. It's when she's. It's in one of the later seasons when she's city councilor and she is what's it called when you're stalling for time?
Oh, she's filibustering.
Filibustering, yes. She's filibustering the meeting, and she's basically recounting a story from Friends, the TV show Friends. And she's like, Monica was there and Joey was there, and then Phoebe was there. And then the way she inflects the sentence, but was Phoebe there? Just remember, the way you inflected it was exactly that way.
Fair. I
was
take
Phoebe
it as a compliment.
There? Yes.
I dipped my toes into Mario 35. I figured it's here. It's for a temporary amount of time. It looks kind of fun, and it's enjoyable. It passes the time. It's nothing crazy. I haven't won a game yet, but I was never super great at the original Mario. So
From what I hear, it's very hard. It's very hard to win that game.
that's kind of the feeling I get, because like whenever you get down to the last 5, there are so many enemies that you just rack up so much time. And really, at that point, the only thing that's going to kill you is a dumb mistake.
Sure.
Which, if you're good at this kind of game, you're not going to make. Especially people who have this game just memorized on when you need to do the jumps. So, I played more Among Us. I think I got, since we last talked, I got my first... So I got a win as the imposter, but it was like a fake win, where like I joined a game and got a kill, and then like a bunch of people got disconnected, so I just kind of automatically got it. But I got a legitimate win where like I got people and then like fooled people into voting other people off, and it felt so good getting that victory screen at the end of that match.
So I also I played a little bit of Among Us.
Have you dipped your toes?
The mobile version. I have not. I haven't gotten the Steam version. For Extra Life, I'm at least playing the Steam. I did confirm it is crossplay. So
okay,
if you wanted to play on your phone and not pay the $5 for the Steam version, you could do that too.
I will pay the $5 to not go like this for.
That's the thing.
Possibly hours.
Yeah, I don't like the control scheme. I just don't like playing games on phones. Is the thing. That's fair. Like, I definitely prefer the touch option over the joystick for Among Us, but
I have the joy. I never messed with it, so I'm on the default, which is joystick.
Okay, yeah, I switched over to the touch screen, and I like that better, but it's still not great. It doesn't feel great.
Yeah.
I haven't played very much. I maybe played like 3 or 4 games total. So maybe less than 45 minutes.
Yeah.
My issue is I have not. Like, the experience that I've had with other players has not been great. Like, no one's chatting in the right way. Like, everyone once someone calls a meeting or a body's found, so everyone says where,
and
then that's it.
Or any sus,
and then it's just like silence. Like, no one's actually like communicating.
Yeah, you gotta find a good room. I was in. Actually, it's funny. The room that I got my first legitimate win as the imposter in, like, I could tell it was going to be a fun time because in the lobby, whenever I joined, they were like witch hats. And I was like, what? And they were like, everybody has to wear witch hats or we're not starting. And I was like, okay, I don't care. This is fine. Let's do it. And like they had their own little thing. They referred to the imposter as the devil, and they would call everybody sister with their name. So like my character's name is Jello, so they'd be like, if I reported something, they'd be like, Sister Jello, what happened? It was very different, but like everybody was involved, and it was really fun.
Yeah,
I still haven't taken the witch hat off from that.
Like I totally understand the appeal of the game. The game is fun, and especially if you play it, I feel like the best experience is when you play it with friends.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I think that during Extra Life, it's definitely
it'll be a good time.
Yeah, for sure.
Even if you only have like 4 or 5 people that are your friends, and then the other 5 are just randoms, like as long as you have at least half or a majority who are going to actually talk, then you'll have a good time.
Right.
And then the last game that I played, I did the demo of Pikmin 3. Which I think is, I don't know if demos have like been known to do this. It's the first time I've heard of them doing this, but this is, I think, a brilliant strategy on Nintendo's part. Whenever you play the demo, it will save your progress, and if you buy the game, you can start from where you finished in the demo. Which I know Nintendo hasn't been known for doing before, and I don't know if anybody else really has either. Why don't they do that? I don't want to replay what I just played.
Yeah, there are that's become more common, I feel like, over the years.
I haven't played a demo in years, so
that's the other thing is there aren't that many demos out there, period. More than likely you'll get betas for like multiplayer games.
Yeah.
But like I'm thinking back to, because Final Fantasy VII, the remake, has a demo. I don't think that one carries over. What was that game? I always forget the game that I played last year. Code Vein. Code Vein is the Souls-like anime game.
Yeah.
That one has a demo that really is made to like showcase the depth of that game's character creator, but you can roll over your character into the main game if you buy it.
Okay.
But yeah, it's definitely becoming more common for demos, at least. For betas, it's still kind of 50-50 on whether or not that progress carries over. And then there's a whole nother layer to this with early access games and whether that stuff carries over, which I'll talk about, I think, a little bit with what I've been thinking and what I've been doing last little bit.
Okay.
But yeah, just depends.
But it really does have me considering getting. I never disliked Pikmin. I had the second one. I think I might have had the first one too. But I'm actually giving some serious thought to now getting Pikmin 3 because like it's fun. It's kind of dumb, but it's fun.
I always wanted to play Pikmin. Like I remember getting
the demo. Go download the demo. It's you'll know it is a very good, because I played the second one for sure for a while. It's a very good showcase of what you're going to get from the game if you buy the full game.
I remember getting the game when I got my GameCube. Pikmin was like, that was the game that I wanted, but I never got it. I never played it. I remember getting the Nintendo Power magazines. Did you subscribe to Nintendo Power ever at all?
I don't think we did. I don't think we got any magazine subscriptions.
I had Nintendo Power for many years via the not prototypical. What's that called? Whatever, like the magazine drive thing that every elementary school does.
Oh, yeah, stereotypical?
Stereotypical, that's the word.
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah.
I had Nintendo Power for several years just by virtue of that stupid magazine fundraiser thing.
Sure.
But I remember vividly like reading through the Pikmin issue many times for the game, the original one that came out on GameCube right around the launch of the GameCube. And then when I finally got my GameCube, I don't even remember what the first game we got was. It might have been Melee and Animal Crossing.
Pikmin, apparently.
No, Melee and Animal Crossing are the two that I remember like playing probably first.
Sure.
But I never got to Pikmin. And I don't know that I want to go to Pikmin this late in life, but
I mean,
Maybe.
it's fun. It's I don't really know if there's anything else quite like it. It just mixes so many like elements of other games. I really do think you should get the demo. It takes probably an hour to get through, maybe
When does it come out?
30 minutes. Um, when does it come out? I thought it was in November, but it might
Oh,
be end of October. Let's see. It is coming out. No, I don't want to know when the original. I said deluxe. Oh, wait. Yeah, Pikmin 3 Deluxe is October 30th.
okay.
So
Yeah, that's
in
kind of
2 weeks.
close. Yeah, exactly 2 weeks from tomorrow. So I think we've not covered because we haven't like this hasn't been a news story, but
Oh no, we cover things.
we've mentioned before like how it's weird that video games, which for the longest time traditionally launched only on Tuesdays, they crept into Friday, and now like
Yeah.
Tuesday and Friday are really common release dates for most games.
Yeah.
There are a bunch of games just coming out, like bigger games just coming out on any day of the week now.
I think they stopped caring, especially because of the pandemic.
Like a lot of, I mean, the consoles themselves, the new consoles launch on a Thursday. November 12th is a Thursday.
I think for a console release, they're kind of banking on the fact that like, hey, you're a huge nerd and this happens once every like 6 to 10 years. You're probably going to take that Friday off and give yourself a long weekend, aren't you?
Right,
You dork.
but if it comes out on Thursday, it would be midnight Wednesday. So you're taking a
Oh.
4-day weekend.
Yeah.
It's just, it feels like, and with especially the eShop, because the eShop is the worst fucking one, because they have stuff that comes out literally every day of the week that they publicize. It feels like at this point, it's just who cares? Games come out when they come out. It's like any day, doesn't matter. Probably not a weekend, but Monday through Friday is fair game.
I kind of prefer that.
It would help like when there's a really jam-packed day.
Sure. I don't know. I generally don't buy games when they release these days anyways. So like it doesn't really affect me one way or the other at the end of the day.
Fair.
I did also, and this is something I don't know if we've ever talked about on the podcast, but you've kind of ragged on me a little bit. I finally ordered some proper monitors for my my nice gaming PC that I bought like 2 years ago at this point.
That's wild that like because I bought a new PC at the same year that you did. I can't believe it's been 2 years.
Yeah, neither can I. To be fair, it doesn't feel like 2 years because at like month 10, my graphics card did that thing where it just stopped working. And so then I had to get a new graphics card, but I got it replaced for like no cost except shipping. So the graphics card is a year old.
Yeah.
The rest of it's just 2.
I think I'm going to probably build a PC next year.
Don't you have 2 already?
Yeah, but my streaming PC is 6 years old now.
Oh, okay.
So
are you going to use parts? Like even just
No.
the case or no?
No. The case maybe. I don't know about that. Cases aren't the thing is the case is like the least expensive part. So I'll probably just end up buying a new case. But yeah, what I'll do is I'll retire my streaming PC, make my main PC my new streaming PC, and then have my new PC be the new gaming PC. Probably.
So what are you going to do with that old PC then?
I don't know. I've been thinking about my PlayStation, about what I'm going to do with it, because I don't need it.
Yeah.
Like, there's no reason to keep it. I still have the PS3 because the PS4 is not backwards compatible, but with the PS5 being completely backwards compatible with the PS4,
it's like what they say, 99.9%.
yeah,
or whatever.
they showed off. There was like a list of 8 games that they confirmed, and they were all small little indie titles that a total of 10 people probably downloaded. And after they released that list, I think I read another tweet somewhere that like 4 of those 8 games are decided to patch their games so that they could play them on PS5. So that list is incredibly small.
Yeah.
But like I have no need for my PS4, so I don't know what I'm gonna do with it. I don't want to sell it to GameStop because I don't give a shit about GameStop. I don't want the money either. I'm not gonna buy anything at GameStop. Like, there's no point in that.
Yeah, but also it's just gonna take up room.
What do you mean?
Do you want to have like? No, I mean like if you don't get rid of it.
Oh no. I'm definitely getting rid of it. I'm trying to figure
Okay.
out what to do with it.
How to get rid of it?
Yes, I don't because I don't. Right now, I'm thinking about donating it to some organization that I can't figure out. I could just take it to Goodwill, but like I don't want someone to have to buy it from Goodwill. Is the thing?
Yeah, you'd think that there would be something like associated with Extra Life where it's like, hey, donate old, not necessarily old, but donate video game things like entertainment things for like children's hospitals.
That's exactly it. For my cursory search of the internet, a lot of people recommend donating things to local children's hospitals. But I went to Nationwide's website, and maybe I should go check Rainbow Babies in Cleveland and Akron Children's Hospital too. But I checked Nationwide, and Nationwide has like a really strict policy about the stuff they take. And I think that it's mostly because of COVID right now. But like on the top of the page, it says everything has to be new. We're not taking anything used. So that's a no-go for me. I should check the other children's hospitals in the state to see if there's another maybe option there. But like if the children's hospitals aren't taking things, then I really don't know what to do with it.
Hold on to it till we have a vaccine, I guess.
Yeah. We'll see. I'm definitely donating it. I just need, if anybody out there has a charity or an idea of what I could do with this, because I don't want anyone to buy it. I'm not going to sell it on eBay. I'm not going to put it on Craigslist for $50. Yeah. I don't want someone to have to buy it at Goodwill because it's like I'm not doing anything with it. Just someone take it from me and like enjoy it
in your probably closet in a box,
right?
Forever.
So yeah. So if anyone has any ideas out there, let me know. But yeah, I checked the children's hospitals first, and they're very strict. At least Nationwide was on what they're taking right now. So we'll see.
You could do a really cool art piece where you like. Have you ever seen those where they take a console and they like just deconstruct it and
then
just
like
have all
mount
the parts
it?
Like, yeah,
those are pretty cool.
I just don't know how you'd go about doing that.
No, and I don't really have a place for it. If my moles are kind of already spoken for. I guess I could put it in this. I have a few in this this armoire or whatever. Not an armoire. This bookshelf
thing. The cube storage.
Yeah, the bottom 4. Spoiler alert. You can't see it in the shots, but the bottom 4 shelves are just totally empty right now. I have nothing in them. So I guess I could like put a display down there, but then it's like it's just sitting there collecting dust.
You are lying to all the viewers. You make it look like everything is completely finished and there's no mess, no clutter. Everything's good to go. I am honest.
It's true.
Behind me, you see an upside down pillow. You see like a mailing envelope. You see a stack of books that's not organized. This is the real me, baby.
Oh boy. So what have I been doing?
Yeah, what have you been doing?
Not really that much from last
That's the
week.
thing. I it feels like most of the stuff that I did was within the past like 3 days.
I am in a bit of a rut, I think. So I finished 13 Sentinels. I think it was Monday I finished the game. It was Monday or Tuesday. Platinumed it. Game totally just blows it out of the water. Like I was kind of worried that all of the pieces weren't going to connect in a way that was going to be satisfying at the end.
Yeah.
Like I trusted them, but I didn't think it was going to end up working exactly the way that like I hoped that it would. But it did. It was great. Totally stand behind that game. definitely going to be a Game of the Year contender. It's not going to be nominated for anything at the Game Awards this year. I'm going to be surprised if it's even
Is this
on.
going to be your Fire Emblem of the year?
Ah, man, it
Three
is
houses all over again.
Except that this year's already loaded. Like,
Oh,
the
fair.
thing about last year with Fire Emblem was clearly the game of the year for me and for the audience because it was chosen as the audience game of the year that year.
Yeah, they did it.
The big thing about last year was that there was just nothing that should have been, like, it's the other things it went up against were they just clearly weren't as good.
Yes.
Like Death Stranding, The Outer Worlds, that other game by the Alan Wake people. I can never remember what their names are. Control, yes. Like those games, again, were probably totally fine, but Fire Emblem was better than them. And it wasn't even nominated. That was my issue there. This year, there's just so much stuff that this is legitimately the best. I want to talk about this at the end of the year. We'll have a topic about this. But 2020 blows every other year in games out of the water.
Which is really strange because we are about to get new consoles.
Right.
This is usually the lull.
This is the swan song to end all swan songs.
Yeah.
It does not get better than this year for new games. So if it's not nominated for Game of the Year, I understand why this year. So I'm not going to be pissed about it. I just hope that it gets like recognized by somebody, like some outlet. I don't care if it's Polygon, Kotaku, IGN. I just want it nominated for Game of the Year somewhere.
Hey, here's an idea. How about us?
Sure.
I still fully intend. I just have to figure out, like, I got to design it. I still fully intend on making a indie Game of the Year trophy and sending it to whatever, I forget their studio name, but the Untitled Goose Game people.
Oh, yeah.
Since they got snubbed last year.
Yeah.
I still 100% intend to do that. I've got these brass, like, duck heads that were just in like a random basement. So I was thinking of like polishing them and I think I've got like 8. So if we wanted to make a trophy, we could make 8 trophies. We'd be set. I'm sure that it's not too much to get like a little plaque engraved. In fact, I think I know somebody who does it.
Yeah.
Why did me saying duck heads elicit such a reaction from you?
Because I'm typing on the Extra Life stuff doc right now.
Oh, okay.
We're definitely playing Untitled Goose Game multiplayer in Extra Life.
Oh, that's right. I forgot that the multiplayer came out.
Yes, it did. So that's happening.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, I finished 13 Sentinels. Great game. Please play it. Please play it. If you don't play it this year, if you don't want to pay $60 for the game now, then just wait.
Then wait until Black Friday when it's 40.
Sure, it's definitely worth. Again, it's worth it for 60. Definitely worth it for 40. If you wait until next year to play it, fine, do it. It's gonna be like a fucking steal at anything less than $40.
I will make it a point to buy it when it's on sale.
So yeah, finish 13 Sentinels, and then again, I kind of feel like I'm in a rut. I don't know what I want to play because, and I alluded to this part earlier, I was watching a few Twitch streamers, some of the bigger streamers that I follow, Co Carnage and JP were playing Baldur's Gate 3, which is in early access right now.
Okay.
I understand that Baldur's Gate, which is a D&D game essentially, a beloved series. Those games are like high up on the pantheon of PC RPG games.
Yeah.
I have no connection to D&D. I have no connection to Baldur's Gate. But watching them play that game just made me crave a like huge, highly customizable RPG experience. I want to play Skyrim. I want to play Baldur's Gate 3. I'm not going to play Baldur's Gate 3 though because it's in early access right now. Sure. And I want to play the whole game. I don't want to play like 5 hours of it or whatever and then
stop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I like this. All I wanted to do earlier this week was play an RPG game. And I like looked through the stores. Like I considered playing Divinity Original Sin 2 because apparently that one's really good. And just I can't make up my mind. And it's like at this point, I'm probably just gonna like put that notion aside for right now. But like all I want to play is a fantasy RPG that like allows me to customize my character the way I want and like build out my skill trees the way I want. And there's just nothing that looks like it would speak to me. Like I considered The Witcher, I considered rolling a new Skyrim character again. I considered playing even like an action RPG like Bloodborne. I was like, oh, it's October, Bloodborne spooky. Maybe I can play it. No, not doing it.
Yeah.
So I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't have a game I'm playing right now. I also played.
This is rare. You always have a game you're playing.
Yeah, I also started Final Fantasy VII on Tuesday this week. Or yeah, it was Tuesday. I played Final Fantasy VII.
Did you already? I'm confused.
I played the remake. I was playing Final Fantasy
you're talking
VII.
the original.
Yes.
Okay.
And I can't do it. I just can't.
Just too old.
It's a mixture of it being too old and like me being spoiled by how good remake is.
Okay. Because
remake okay, I played Final Fantasy for probably 2 hours. I'm already like 80% of the way through where remake left off. And remake was a 40-hour game.
Okay.
Remake's a 40-hour game. In 2 hours, I played 80% of it. Basically.
So remake is really fleshed out then.
Yes. And not only is it fleshed out with that story, it's not like, again, I talked about this earlier this year, but at no point did it feel like they were just artificially inflating things. The way that they build out Midgar and the world that exists there, it does so much for that universe, and it's what sucked me in. And a lot of that isn't here. Like I'm in it for Cloud and Tifa and Aerith and Barrett, but like I don't necessarily care about what's going on in the background right now. Because it just feels so shallow compared to what remake was. And I get that this is probably a controversial opinion, especially for people who love Final Fantasy VII, because that was like a core part of their childhood or a part of their nostalgia, I guess. And I just don't have that piece of it. So like in my eyes, remake just blows 7 out of the water, which makes sense because there's a 20-year difference there or a 15-year difference.
Well, yeah, there's not only a graphical difference, but just a quality of life difference.
Sure. And just me trying to play Final Fantasy VII in the year 2020, having no connection to the original game and not having any nostalgia for turn-based combat and like the grind and like random encounters and that kind of stuff, it's not doing it.
Yeah. No, you're good. I get it.
So that didn't work out. I did play one other game pretty extensively. By extensively, I mean probably like 10 hours or so last weekend, which is the other free-to-play game that I downloaded last week and did not talk about, but Spellbreak. I tweeted about it earlier this week. Spellbreak is a battle royale, except that it is like a magic battle royale. So there's no guns. You are a mage and you pick up these gauntlets, and there's like 6 different like magic types. There's fire, there's ice, there's
I
stone.
assume that they're elemental. Yeah.
Yeah. There's like a poison, and then there's lightning, and there's something else. But there's basically 6 elements you can choose from, and you can pick up a second element once you're on the map. So there's like you can combine the abilities to do different things. So like the class I'm sort of maining, I guess, is the Pyromancer. But if I pick up the Wind class, I can cast a tornado and then throw a fireball into the tornado, and it becomes a fire tornado. So there's like some really cool stuff you can do with it.
There's element combinations that like actually make sense.
Sure. And like the upgrade path is pretty intuitive. There's like gear that you upgrade through looting. You can upgrade the gauntlets that you have that actually cast the spells, and then you can also pick up a rune, and that rune gives you another ability additionally. So like there's one rune that lets you fly, there's one that lets you teleport, this one that makes you go invisible. So it's really interesting. It's a really cool game. I actually like it a lot. I think that I would put a lot of time into it if I was super into like battle royales. Like this game it's solid. It's really, really solid. Again, free to play. Definitely worth messing around.
You're more into battle royales than I am, I think.
Well, the thing is, like, I I like the idea, or I liked the idea of them. I put a lot of time into PUBG, so much time into PUBG. And then after that, there's not really been anything else that's grabbed me for longer than a few hours. Like Apex, I guess, grabbed me for 20-ish, if I had to guess.
Sure.
But other
Longer
than
me.
that, like I just like pop in and play for a little bit and peace out. Mainly because they're free to play games, and I guess I don't like feel obligated to invest more time into them.
Yeah, you didn't actually spend money, so like
Sure. The thing
you don't
about
have to get your money's
Spellbreak
worth.
though is that it's legit. Like it feels good. Like I feel like it's. I don't know. It's like unique enough that it's not just a clone of Fortnite.
Yeah.
The only thing is it's in beta. I think it's in beta, and I don't know if it's gonna last because it just seems like there's the player base is not as strong as I think they would hope it would have been for
Sure.
now. Like this morning, I happened to go on Twitch just to see what was on, and I happened to look at the browse section, and I think but granted it was like 9 a.m. this morning. The Spellbreak card only had 300 people watching at that time, which is probably not great, but
No, those aren't super good numbers.
yeah. But the game's super cool. Super cool. That's been it though. Whole lot of nothing.
Sure.
Nothing's grabbed me.
Yeah, I need to figure out what I want to get into next since I just, like I said, finished the Pikmin demo, and it won't be out for another 2 weeks. So even if I want to get it, I got to fill that 2 weeks with something.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. I guess it is the Overwatch event. It's a Halloween event. It's kicked off on Tuesday, or yeah, it was Tuesday it kicked off. So I'll probably sink a bunch of time into that over the next 3 weeks. But like I feel like there's just nothing that I want to play. I honestly feel like I've played everything that I want to this year.
Sure.
There's some stuff in my backlog I want to get to, like Yakuza, but I'm just not feeling Yakuza right now. And so like when I look at this year, there's nothing else that I feel like I need to play for Game of the Year discussions. I feel like I'm caught up for this year. And I'm just kind of waiting until November 12th, really.
Yeah, that's fair. You know what I looked at that just came out that I might get? It's an indie title, I think. It might have been in one of the Nindy showcases or whatever, but it was the game I Am Dead.
I've seen the cover art. I don't know what it's about.
I saw a trailer somewhere, and I don't know where it was now. But it's like some kind of puzzle / mystery game. But like you are dealing with seemingly kind of like, I don't know if they're ghosts, but they're dead. These people that you're talking to. And I don't know if you're also dead or what, but like you gotta get things right, otherwise this weird place where all these dead people live is gonna just get destroyed. I think there's a volcano or something.
Fade.
I don't 100% understand how this game works, but it did look kind of fun and interesting and unique.
Makes
so
sense.
maybe I'll look into that. And then I'll be good for like a day and a half because it's probably going to be a 5-hour game.
Yeah. The only other game that I'm thinking about right now is Mortal Shell. Have you seen that? Sound familiar at all? Mortal Shell is a like spiritual successor kind of game to Dark Souls, made by a studio that basically just really loved Dark Souls, so they wanted to make their own.
Shouldn't you have finished Dark Souls before you move on to spiritual successor of Dark Souls?
Well, the thing is, it came out this year, so like if I want to have if I want to discuss it for Game of the Year, then this would be a good time to play it.
That's fair.
But the other part of it is it's really short. Like it's basically an indie game. It's like $30, and it's like 15 hours or something. Oh. So it's like it takes the Dark Souls formula, but it's an indie game, and it looks interesting. The thing is, like I saw a lot of streamers playing it when it first came out. I feel like I know what that game is already. If it's just a straight up like it's basically more Dark Souls. So I don't think it's
Sure,
going to do
that makes
anything
sense.
like super interesting to grab my attention and have it be in my top 10 of the list, top 10 games of the year list. Again, because the list this year is just so fucking insane that
It's stacked, yeah, for sure.
So I think that the next couple of weeks for me is going to be mainly Overwatch, and maybe it'll be just like a recharge time. Maybe I'll just take a little bit of a break from games.
A little break, yeah. I think for me, what it's probably going to end up being is, I think I'm going to buckle down. How long is Royal going to take me, I think?
120 hours.
Okay.
Do you mean like?
But I mean like weeks.
I don't know how many hours a week do you play?
I don't know. That's the thing, because like I haven't been playing that much because I haven't really had something to play. So when I would just sit down, I'd turn on One Piece or something.
Okay, so how many days a week do you play games usually?
I'll usually play once a day.
What's your average play time?
Depends on the game.
Fair. If it was me and I played, I guess I would average on a weeknight. I would probably average 2.5 to 3 hours, probably.
That sounds right.
Like 8 to 11 or 9 to midnight or whatever.
Sure.
On the weekends, I might do 5 hours, like 2 in the morning and 3 later in the day.
This all sounds about right. Yeah.
So what's that? 3 times 5 is 15 plus 25 hours. I think is maybe on the high side. I think I would average 20 hours a week, probably.
That sounds appropriate.
So if you do
6 weeks,
yeah.
Ooh.
But with Persona 5, if it's something that like really grabs you and sucks you in, like it did with me, at least for the first 4.5 times I played it, I would be playing more than that.
Yeah, I'll overclock myself. I'll be at 40 hours a week instead.
Right.
I'll find the time.
So it just depends
and
on how.
I mean, I know that I like it because I liked the first one.
Yeah.
And now that I know where I'm going, and I'm not really trophy hunting, I'll be able to probably burn through the first 2/3 of the game or whatever.
I think if you,
I mean, I know that something's changed.
Sure.
But I've got to imagine that a decent amount stayed the same.
Most of it did, yeah. There's some new puzzles in the the palaces, but other than that, it's not really that different. Mementos is longer but different, and it's not really.
I mean,
I
I understand the different spells and like the combat system a lot better now, so I'm not gonna have to learn that. So
right, and I mean there are a lot of quality of life improvements.
Sure.
It's just it is legitimately like I think my first P5 playthrough vanilla was 96 hours. My first Persona 5 Royal playthrough was literally 120 hours. And that was with me knowing everything. And like I
but
guess,
you got the platinum on your first playthrough, right?
Well, right, but when you think about what that means, the platinum is so easy. There was actually an article the other day, I think it was on Push Square, that said like the Persona 5 Royal is the highest attained platinum that's a exclusive PlayStation game. So a ton of people have the platinum for Royal because it's so easy.
Just because you kind of get it just from beating it almost.
Pretty much, yeah. And like because of the way that the day structure is set up, like you're never wasting time. Like the stuff you have to do.
But you're missing out on the game if you do that.
Right. The only time I think I ever grinded was in Mementos for some of the new stuff in Mementos. There's a new character in Mementos that has stuff that you have to buy from him that has a currency that you collect in Mementos. So there was some grinding involved with that, but not that much. Probably an extra 5 hours. So it's still a 115-hour game if you're not grinding at all.
Okay.
So it's going to be long. And then when you played Persona 5 last year, you took breaks. Like you took like a 2-week break that one.
I did take a 2-week break. I don't remember why.
I don't remember either.
Did something happen or did I just Did it just get burnt out?
I feel like you played a palace. I feel like you went through the casino palace and it took a long time or something, and then like you were really hesitant to go into Shido's palace because you knew it was going to take forever.
I think that was it. Yeah, it got too palace heavy.
Yeah.
And I was like, nah, I'd rather do literally anything else right now.
So, I mean, if you go into it with that knowledge again, it's not going to be as bad, I don't think. But it's still 120 hours.
Did they quote unquote fix Shido's palace, or is it still?
It's better for sure. Yeah.
Are there as many mouse puzzles?
I want to say yeah, but they're not as bad. Like they made them easier.
Okay, good. Because they weren't ever hard. They were just long.
No, they were stupid long. Yeah, they were annoying as fuck. No, it's not as bad this time.
Okay.
Okamura's palace is bad though. That's still bad.
I've heard that I've heard lots of the one thing that I've heard about this is that palace now really sucks and the final boss extra really sucks. So
yeah,
can't wait.
But if you dedicated yourself to Persona 5 and played an average, I think that you might average 25 a week. I think you could do that. Maybe even 30
honestly, I could probably I could hit 30 if I really wanted to.
Yeah.
It's just I've got to be sucked in to get 30.
Yeah. And I think there are sections of the game that will like the middle part of the game is great with some of the new stuff that they added, especially like with the Hawaii trip. There's some really cool stuff. And like there's always enough of a carrot that like wants you that like it forces you to keep playing, especially with some of the new stuff. Like with some of the two new characters that are involved. Their arcs really start to ramp up in the middle of the game ish. And then they kind of stall, at least if you kind of mainline them like I did, because in order to get the perfect or the true ending of the game, you have to max out the like 3 confidants, right? Yeah, the 3. Well, Akechi was a confidant in the last game, but you have to. Yeah,
but like you got him for free.
Yeah, you have to max out Akechi and then the 2 brand new characters.
Yeah.
So like I was focusing on getting them done as quickly as I could. So then they basically stall out until January picks up again.
That makes sense.
But yeah, when you're pursuing them right at the beginning, it's cool because it's brand new. Like it's all new stuff.
And I mean, for me especially, it's not going to be hard to suck me in because like there were 3 or 4 characters that I just didn't max out my first playthrough anyways.
Yeah.
Like I was short on I forget what he was, but that little punk kid,
Shinya,
the gamer.
Shinya
so I was short
Oda.
on him. I was pissed. I was 1 rank away from Sojiro maxing out, and I was like,
man,
the game stopped letting me hang out, and I was like, no,
yeah.
I'm there. I got the 9th, like the really emotional cutscene. Give me the last one, please.
I think I did the same thing with either Haru or Futaba in my first playthrough that I didn't even get.
Oh yeah, both of them. Nope, didn't max out. And I think that there was like the gun seller, the model gun fanatic.
Oh, EY.
Yeah, I didn't finish him at all.
Yeah,
I think those are the main ones. I think everybody else I pretty much maxed out.
I think this would be a good time to play it.
That's what I'm thinking. Now seems like the right time because there is such a lull.
Maybe I'll play it too. Maybe we can race. I got nothing else better to do. Should I play Persona 4? I really want to play Persona 4. I don't want to buy it on Steam and then for literally I know that the day that I buy it, fucking the next day Atlas is going to come out and be like, guess what is on PS4 now? It's Persona 4 Golden.
Or they'll just say, hey, it's on PS5 when it comes out, launch.
Yeah. I know that that's going to happen the day that I buy the game on Steam.
Yeah, that's how I feel too, because I've been avoiding it for the same reason as I would also rather play it on PS4.
I've been wanting to
not for trophies, just because it feels more natural.
Yeah, I've been wanting to replay that game now for months. Well, good thing we wasted all this time at the top of the show talking about our weeks and what we should and shouldn't be playing because this is
why you're all here, right?
There's very little to talk about this week in the way of news. We got filler stories today, ladies and gentlemen. Let's start.
Hell yeah.
With PlayStation 4. PlayStation 4 got System Software Update 8.0 yesterday or the day before. I guess it's 2 days ago.
Why?
I do know why. But let me read the article from Michael McGuire over at Polygon.com. Sony released the latest PlayStation 4 firmware on Wednesday, System Software Update 8.0, which included an initially unannounced feature. Sony can now record voice chat audio, which users can submit to the company for moderation review. According to an update posted to the PlayStation blog, Sony is enabling the feature on PS4 as part of a plan to moderate voice communications on PlayStation 5. Voice chat recording for moderation is a feature that will be available on PS5 when it launches and will enable users to record their voice chats on PS5 and submit them for moderation review, Sony said. The pop-up you're seeing on PS4 right now is to let you know that when you participate in a chat with a PS5 user, they may submit those recordings from the PS5 console to Sony Interactive Entertainment. On PlayStation 4, users will see a warning when joining voice chat that reads, "Voice chats may be recorded for moderation. By joining, you agree to be recorded." And PS4 owners will now see the following explanation under About Party Safety in the console's Party Settings menu. We want PlayStation Network to be fun for everyone, which is why we have a community code of conduct. Please be aware that voice chats and parties may be recorded and sent to us by other users. By participating in voice chats, you agree to have your voice being recorded. When behaviors that violate the community code of conduct are reported, PlayStation Safety will review the reports to check to see if it has been a genuine violation. These recordings will be used for only safety and moderation purposes by PlayStation Safety. According to PlayStation's community code of conduct, PlayStation Network users may not use or promote hate speech, threaten, bully, harass, or stalk anyone, be vulgar or offensive, or encourage anyone to hurt themselves or someone else, among other rules. That's where I'm going to stop there. There was more to the update than just that moderation statement. They also changed the way that parties fundamentally work, where to do a party, I think you have to open up a group message. And now with group messages, like on a phone, basically, where you have like a group text message between specific people, you have to now do that for every party you create, which is an extra step.
Annoying.
It is, yeah, it does sound a little bit weird. And that's what most people have complained about over the last 24 hours. Then there was another layer to this where there was a bunch of people that reported this system software update borked their consoles. And they were having trouble with their friends list where they couldn't see friends. Their UI was all fucked up where they couldn't even really look at the tiles or select games.
Oops.
So there's a lot of issues here with this 8.0 update. Where to begin? I guess let's start with the moderation thing.
What I want, how long, and do you think this will happen, but how long until we see some kind of major drug bust or some weird crime organization ring busted because somebody had a PlayStation on and they were recorded in the background talking about some super illegal activities that were going on?
I could see it.
Somebody is going to drop the ball when it comes to just talking about personal information. 100%. Which in this case would be great because that would mean less crime theoretically.
So there was, when this was first dropped and people read this on their own, there was a lot of concern in the community that PlayStation was going to be actively moderating or
Big Brother's listening.
Exactly.
Yeah.
PlayStation has since come out and said that's not the case. I mean, you could take that as you want to. Sony is a corporation. They can do whatever they want.
Yeah.
But I really don't feel like they have the time to just sit in every single party that exists out there at any given time to listen for that kind of stuff. Yeah. I think that's overblown. The other side of this is the argument that I have with every fucking idiot out there that says free speech on twitter.com. No. Twitter's a private platform. PlayStation's a private platform. They can moderate however they want to.
Yeah.
They should moderate. They should be moderating way more than they have before. And I guess my stance...
There's terms and conditions that you agree to when you're on this service.
Right. And my stance is there's a little bit of concern when they say, quote, be vulgar or offensive, because that literally just means swearing. Like, you could be banned theoretically by saying the word fuck.
Yeah.
So that's a little bit concerning with that language. I don't know that they would go that far, and I don't know that I've ever seen like someone complain like, oh, I got banned for saying the word fuck in a party or whatever.
Yeah.
But there's the other things in there. I lost it. PlayStation Network users may not use or promote hate speech, threaten, bully, harass, or stalk anyone, or encourage anyone to hurt themselves or someone else. That's all stuff that 100% needs to be moderated.
Yeah.
And I feel like
sure.
video games do a horrible job at that, even in situations where it's a no-brainer that it should be moderated. Like in text chat in Overwatch and on Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Any game that has a text chat, censor the words. Ban the people that use those words. It's so easy to see it. No one should be able to write the N-word on Call of Duty. That's just a thing that should not be allowed.
And it's pretty easy to ban a specific word and also variations on that word. There's only so many ways that you can try to wiggle your way around.
Right, before the word becomes totally unintelligible and you have no idea what it is. That shouldn't be difficult. And if that's what Sony's trying to do with this, then I fully support it.
Yeah, for sure.
Get rid of the hate speech. Get rid of, because I'm sure this exists. This exists on Discord. This exists in quarters of Reddit, where there are hate groups on these platforms that are using these platforms to circulate hate and to congregate and be safe in their views. There are Nazi groups on Reddit. There are Nazi groups in Discord. Like, that stuff should not exist. And if this policy allows PlayStation to take action against some of those instances, then I'm all for it, because that stuff should not exist there. It shouldn't exist, period. But like, it definitely should not exist on this thing that like is designed to create entertainment.
It's the double. I think we've talked about this before, but it's the double-edged sword of the internet, where like now that you have the internet, you have access to find people who have a very specific interest, just like you do, which most of the time is great, because a lot of these are just genuine interests, like something that you do creatively that you normally would never find somebody to talk about with. Like if you suddenly got really into, I don't know, collecting vintage coins from Japan or something. Like there's going to be a very small group of people you can talk to about that. And if you didn't have the internet, that group would be you. But at the same time, with any kind of connectivity and making it easier to discuss these things, there are those small fringe groups that are shitty that can now support each other too. So yeah, that's the good old double-edged sword of the internet.
Yeah. So again, I don't think PlayStation's going to be policing every single one of these parties that are out there.
Big Brother does not have time to listen to you talk to your three friends.
The other thing is just
like something stupid.
Don't be shitty. Like, you shouldn't be worried about this if you're not shitty. Like, who are you partying up with? Because they're specifically talking about party chat. They're not even talking about in-game voice chat. They're talking about party chat here. So who are you joining parties with? That, like, if you say something offensive that maybe isn't meant to be offensive, someone that only maybe tangentially knows you is going to record that and send it to PlayStation. Like, who are you partying up with? Or if you're dumb enough to like party up with a complete stranger and then, you know, drop a bunch of racial slurs, you deserve that ban. First of all, you're using racial slurs, but also you're an idiot because you're partying up with somebody that you have no idea who they are. Like, there's multiple layers here of you need to just be a better person and you need to be smarter about your identity on the internet.
It's the I think I've heard it referred to as the grandma rule, where like if you're doing something on the internet that if your grandma looked over your shoulder, you'd be just ashamed and embarrassed, you shouldn't be doing that. same thing with what you're talking about. If you're in a party chat and like friends of yours who are very accepting heard you talking the way you're talking, you shouldn't be saying whatever you're saying.
Right. Honestly,
if you're embarrassed to say whatever you're going to say in front of a certain person or group of people, then you shouldn't be saying it.
no. The more I think about this, the more I think that this is awesome.
A
The more
positive
that I'm
thing?
like
Yeah.
pro Big Brother, pro PlayStation, because like one of the most rewarding things to me, like one of the things that gives me, I'm not going to say the most satisfaction.
I think I know what it's going to be because I'm right there with you.
When someone is being a fuck in Overwatch.
Uh-huh.
And is either verbally berating the team because we're losing, they're tilted, they're like using slurs, they're being totally inappropriate. Nothing fills me with a greater sense of just like, fuck yeah, than logging into Overwatch a couple days later and getting that nice little pop-up that says, thank you very much. Your actions, or this report that you put through about this person has led us to take action against them. Thank you for making Overwatch a safer place. I love that thing.
Such a good feeling.
I feel so good when I get it. And like, yeah. I report people on Twitter too, all the time.
When I've done it too. And I've, whenever I check like the next day or like a couple days later, they're like, hey, thanks, this account is now just gone. And I'm like, all right.
Twitter's not as good about it though.
No, for sure.
And I don't know where Facebook's at, but I would almost certainly assume that they are terrible at it.
I would also.
But to see a company like PlayStation take a hardline stance against it, and maybe they're not, maybe this is just a scare tactic to put out there.
It very well could be.
But that makes me feel better about it. Yeah. Because there's nothing pisses me off more than being in an Overwatch match and having one of my teammates just verbally degrade somebody. If it's me because I'm not playing, like if it's me because I'm not playing the support character that they want, if it's a DPS character that's maybe not doing so hot, it's totally inappropriate. Also, I almost exclusively play quick play.
Casual. Yeah.
What the fuck is wrong with you? If you're going to be this competitive, go play competitive. And don't do this in competitive either, because if you do, that's no better. But we're in quick play, dude. Like, calm down, bro.
People are learning characters here.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think this is fine. I think this is good. Not even fine. I think it's good. It's a positive thing.
I'm on board. I don't have any issues with this.
The next piece, though, that with the group chat being required to start a party chat, that I have no opinion. I don't
either, just because the only person I play with is you, and we usually talk on Discord anyways.
That's exactly it. Is that I'm not using PlayStation's party chat features, and that's probably saying something. Like, PlayStation should probably not want us to be using Discord, but like I this doesn't affect me at all, because I would be using Discord if I was talking to somebody else.
Yeah.
Now, the piece about the update borking people's consoles, that's an issue.
That's very bad.
There are a lot of
one great thing, one neutral thing, and one bad thing.
Yeah. There are a lot of people on Reddit that are like really pissed about this, and as all of it, like just the entire update as a whole, just being mad about it. Lots of memes out there about wanting it to be rolled back. And I don't know. I guess we'll see if PlayStation does anything about it. But at this point, I don't think they will. I think that a lot of this, and it mentioned this somewhere in the article too, but a lot of this is setting up for the PlayStation 5. There was also something that dropped today where they're updating the PlayStation Store, at least the online, like the browser store that you can go to, PlayStationStore.com or whatever. On that store, you're no longer going to be able to buy PlayStation 3, PlayStation Vita, PlayStation Portable, or themes and avatars via the website. You'll have to buy on the console itself. So you can still buy PS3 games on the PlayStation Network, but you have to go onto your PlayStation 3 to actually buy the stuff. And the reason they did all that, and I think the reason why they're changing all of this, is just because the way that they integrated the PlayStation Store and PlayStation 5 is going to be a lot different. They showed off the UI today, and I don't think that the article that I'm going to read here in a minute is going to talk about it, but a piece of it is that the store is now integrated into the UI. So when you go into the PlayStation Store, it's no longer going to take even like 30 seconds to a minute sometimes to load, because it's just integrated into the UI now. It's no longer a separate application that's booting up and doing all this stuff. It's now just a piece of it. So I think that a lot of the stuff in this update is like back-end architectural stuff that just is going to integrate a lot of it with the PlayStation 5 more intuitively, and will just make for a quicker experience, hopefully.
More streamlined, for sure.
So, update 8.0. There you go. Next article comes from Kotaku.com. And Ethan Gatch over there wrote, "Here's what the PS5's UI looks like. Sony released a new trailer today showing off what it will look like to navigate the PlayStation 5. In some ways, it's a lot more streamlined. In others, it looks a lot busier, with lots of extra information to digest depending on what you're doing. The PS5 will still have a traditional home screen with a top media bar. You navigate to select games and other options. It's even more minimalist than the existing PS4 home screen, with a bunch of more real estate devoted to blowing up the background art for whatever icon you're on. There doesn't seem to be many changes except for a more robust Explore button that will be filled with news and updates related to the PS5 ecosystem. The biggest difference between the PS4 and PS5 interface seems to be inside of the games themselves. Instead of navigating directly out of a game to the home screen, there's a control center overlay that lets you check progress, join parties, and see news feeds while playing games. Sony used Sackboy: A Big Adventure as an example. And while in the game, you're able to open up the control center and start scrolling right to look at news feeds, screenshots, and utilize a new feature called Activities, which gives players a personalized time estimate for how long it will take them to complete certain parts of the game, with some games even letting you jump around between objectives directly from the control center menu. The activities list will also include hints, ranging from short blurbs to videos that will seemingly provide clues for how to progress in a game without needing to search online or risk spoilers. It's unclear how much flexibility developers will have with whether they make full use of this sort of checklist approach, segmenting out a game, but for things like Sackboy, it's easy to see how it can streamline trying to get trophies and hit the 100% completion. The trailer also showed off how the overlay makes it possible to join party chats by tapping a notification, as well as view friends' shared screens without ever leaving the game. One neat feature is that developers have the option to insert spoiler warnings if you've taken a screenshot of one part of a game and share it with a PSN friend who hasn't gotten there yet. Despite the UI demo being about 11 minutes long, it still leaves some of the more granular questions unanswered, like customizable backgrounds and folder organization. It did give a sense of just how snappy the menus will be, though. At one point, it showed switching from Sackboy to Destruction All-Stars by clicking a notification to join the game from a party invite. 10 seconds later, the game's main menu was open. So all that to say, the menu itself, the UI itself, the main landing page looks pretty much the same, although it's much more, again, minimalist, and it shows a lot, the background of the screen is a lot more pronounced. The biggest features go into the control center piece, with especially this new system called Activities. I think that it was, I'm blanking on who it was. I think it was either Polygon. I think it was Polygon. Wrote another article. It was a companion that, not a companion. It had another option that kind of went more into what activities could mean. And the activities thing is actually pretty interesting. So one piece of the activities is that it has like a progress bar, like the achievements on the Xbox now have, as of the Xbox One generation, have tracking features in them. The activities on this include that. It also not only does it have the percentage, but it also has like a time limit even. Like if you have this much longer to complete this task that you're doing. Like if you're in this level, it's probably going to take you about 10 more minutes to complete this level, essentially.
Okay.
But the activities can go further than that by actually allowing you to like jump into different pieces of the game. So like if there's a trophy that you need to get, if you go to the activities screen and there's an activity for that trophy, you can just go straight to that activity, theoretically, with this. So it could, I think that it has a lot of opportunity for trophies, and like what Kotaku said here with segmenting the game, I think there's a lot of opportunity to do some pretty cool stuff there.
Sure.
How widespread that's going to be, especially for third-party games, I don't know, because as to my knowledge, Xbox doesn't have something like that. But like if it would be really cool, and this is like my dream. It'd be really cool if you could like complete the game, like go through the story, complete the game. And then the trophy mop up at the end, if you didn't get all the trophies, you could just go back and jump in right to the parts of the game where you needed to get that one thing.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
And it sounds like that's a possibility here with like basically putting checkpoints in with these activities.
Yeah.
They also mentioned a part of that activities is like including guides. So the developer, and hopefully at some point in the future, maybe even users might be able to submit like videos on how to do something in the game. Like, okay, if you need to complete this trophy, here is a guide on how to do this the right way. So there's a lot of cool stuff that you could do with that. Yeah, I don't know. I think it looks good. A lot of people, I think from what I saw on Reddit, opinions are mixed.
I mean, it's something different, so
that's
people
exactly
hate change.
Right. That's exactly it. I think it just looks different. I think that the more options, the better. Like I always want more information than less.
Yeah.
And although like specifically that control center menu with the activities listed and like the friends list and all the different options there, that piece is pretty cluttered. I think at some point that'll become intuitive as you get used to it. But the landing or the homepage itself still looks clean. It's exactly what it is now, except that the icons are smaller. They're more kind of up in the left-hand corner of the page, and there's a lot more room for like a feature image, which I think will do a lot for themes and stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm excited about all that. It looks good. It's what I want. Any strong opinions there?
Not really. I don't really care.
Yeah.
Like I never spend too much time on the home screen anyways. Which is just that's my bad, because like there are things that I could do that would be kind of cool. It's just I don't take advantage of them. I turn on my Xbox and I know, or I turn on my PlayStation and I know exactly why I'm turning it on, so I just go straight to it.
Yeah.
So it does seem nice that there's going to be more interactivity between the games and the menus and stuff like that, but at the end of the day, as long as I can back out of my game and launch something else, that's really the biggest thing that I care about, which everyone has done.
Yeah. Like there's not a UI out there that, at least for consoles, that I think is terrible.
No.
Even Nintendo's is fine. Like there's nothing that...
It's pretty bare bones, but like that's all you need.
Yeah.
Just show me my list of games, show me a little thing that'll take me to my settings and the eShop, and I'm good.
Honestly, the biggest piece that's exciting for me is the store. The store being integrated into the UI is great.
Yeah.
Because
that'll be nice. It is kind of annoying whenever, like, especially with the eShop, I'll load it and it'll make that little stupid, like, it does like scales where it goes up and down as it loads, and I'm just like,
it's just so slow.
Can you not? Why is this loading?
And the PlayStation Store does the same thing, where it as time has gone on, it gets more and more sluggish to go through.
Sure, because there's just so much.
Yeah. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. I really hope they haven't said this at all. I really hope that trophies are integrated into the UI now. like they are with Xbox, because trophies have never been integrated. I don't know if I've ever talked about this for trophy hunting, but trophies have always been a server thing. Like trophies live on a server somewhere. And so when you unlock a trophy, it exists on your console, but then it has to load up into the server to go to your account.
Okay.
Whereas on the Xbox platform, it's integrated into your gamer tag so that when you unlock the trophy, it's in there now. The PlayStation all syncs to a server. So anytime you want to update your trophy, like if you were playing on your Vita and you got a bunch of trophies and then you logged onto your PS4 would have to sync to a server to get those onto your profile on the PS4. Which just isn't the case with how achievements work. So I really, really hope that they fix that. I don't think that they have. If I had to guess with how long it took them to fix the whole PSN name issue, I don't know that trophies were fixed that easily. But the store was able to be updated, so that gives me a little bit of hope.
Yeah. If they did if they went the path of Blizzard and sold decommissioned servers that held all the trophies, would you buy one? If like you knew that your information was on there.
Are you talking about like a stack?
Yeah.
Like a cabinet, basically, like a server cabinet?
Did you not see those whenever Blizzard does
No.
it? They'll decommission it and they'll say which realm was hosted or like was on that server, and like it'll have a little commemorative plaque. It costs a stupid amount of money, and they do it very infrequently, obviously. But like if they did that and they were like, if you could find out that your information, like your stuff, was at one point like linked to that server,
Depends.
Would you do that?
I don't think so. It's just a server. I have nowhere. There's no way to make a server look cool unless you have a server farm, and then it looks cool. But just having like one fucking server stack back there, it looks stupid.
I mean, the Blizzard ones I think looked kind of cool.
Did they? They always like black rectangles.
I'll try to find
at least
a picture.
The servers I've seen.
If I find a picture, I will post it into the. I already found a picture.
One of the coolest things I did in my master's degree program was at Kent State, where I did my master's. I took a technology class, it was higher education technology, and a piece of it was like we learned a lot about what the OCIO's, like the Chief Information Officer's office did, like how just IT works at universities and things like that. And they actually took us downstairs into the library is where the server farmer is for Kent State, and they took us down into that room and like showed us around. It was really cool, actually.
Servers are no joke. Let's see. I went the way that you prefer and made it a tiny URL.
In the chat?
I know that you hate.
It's just it's so
whenever
long.
I post the big ones.
Yeah, with like fucking thousands of characters and lots of question marks.
So like this is really cool because
okay, that's pretty cool.
It's pretty customized, and then it's signed by like I imagine the people who like worked on that server or something.
Right. Okay, so it's not like a
the
full
toys, the little toys aren't included, I don't think.
No,
it's like it looks like a giant microchip.
Okay, no, that's actually pretty cool.
So if they did that for like, if you knew that your user information was linked up to a server and they did that, but like make it PlayStation instead.
Yeah, I might,
depending on the price.
Depending on the price, yeah, that's actually pretty cool. I'll give them that. Go post that in the Discord channel too. Come join our Discord channel. Go to twitch.tv and go down into our panels down there. Join our Discord channel. We're a fun group. You can see cool stuff like this server farm if you're listening to the audio podcast, or not the server farm. The server. What do you call it? Is that? I mean, it's a server, I guess. It's like it looks like a motherboard. I think
it's just a server. Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Let us talk for just a few minutes about launch lineups. Actually, no, before we get there, rumor time. Rumor time about a game that's important to me called Mass Effect.
This is your new oh my god, why can't I think of the name? Splinter Cell.
Yeah, definitely, yeah. So Gamatsu wrote an article yesterday titled Mass Effect Legendary Edition rated in Korea. The Game Rating and Administration Committee of Korea has rated the unannounced Mass Effect Legendary Edition. Mass Effect Legendary Edition is rumored to be the name of the Mass Effect Remaster trilogy, including Mass Effect 2, and Mass Effect 3. While still not officially announced, it is said to have been delayed from a previously planned late 2020 release to early 2021. That's the extent of the article from Gematsu. Couple that with an article that was written, I guess it wasn't an article, it was a leak that Nibel posted on Twitter exactly a month ago. It was on September, I guess almost, it was September 16th. Nibel tweeted, Mass Effect trilogy listings have gone up on a Portuguese retailer website with a temporary box art that has a new logo on it. The logo...
Wasn't it also like an old logo technically?
Yeah, there was some weird thing there where like I forget who it was. One of the developers, somebody like tweeted back at Nibel. It was like, actually, it was the old logo.
Yeah. It was like the old logo for maybe, did they have it in a collection before?
Yeah, there was. So there was the original games all released obviously by themselves.
Separately,
and then they just bundled them together. I think it was just the Mass Effect trilogy is what it was called.
I think it was like the text logo from that.
Yes.
But it was on this new trilogy with something else in the background.
Right. So we now have 2 rumors in a month saying Mass Effect Remaster is happening. This is a remaster that people have been calling for since the generation began and remasters started to become a thing. However, I think it was Casey Hudson. It was either Casey Hudson or it was whoever runs, I think, Manchester United. Like the old CEO of EA went and bought a fucking Premier League soccer team. Whoever that
Why
guy
not?
is.
Sure.
Whoever that guy was. They came out and said, EA doesn't believe in remasters. We're not remastering Mass Effect. That was back in like 2014, I think.
Oh, well, I mean, once it's EA, they saw that money was being made.
Right.
They'll change their minds.
Also, that dude's long gone. Now he lives in soccer land, apparently. Was it Patrick Soderlund? I don't know. Whoever that was.
Some rich dude who likes soccer.
Yeah. Now, last month, when the Portuguese retailer thing was leaked, I was kind of like, oh, that's exciting. That was the extent of my excitement. Just, oh, that's kind of exciting.
Yeah.
This is Portuguese. We'll move on. Then yesterday, this Korea thing came out. And when I saw this, my thought was, okay, I'll believe it when I see it. I don't think this is like, I have no faith in this. I've been torched by Ubisoft too many times to believe in anything.
You were essentially Wolverine holding up a photo of Sam Fisher for years. You're not about to replace that photo with just Mass Effect.
No. But then I had a thought.
Oh boy.
I had a thought today, like an hour ago. It's almost N7 Day. I forgot N7 Day was a thing. N7 Day takes place on Extra Life. What if we get an announcement of Mass Effect Trilogy during Extra Life? And then I got excited. Now I'm just excited.
Well, I guess you do have Twitter open during it, so I was gonna say that'd be a weird twist of fate. This thing that you've been looking forward to, you miss the announcement for like 24 hours.
Yeah. Because
you're playing other video games.
So N7 Day is coming up. I at this point with 2 leaks like this, I'm on board. I think this is happening. I think we're finally getting Mass Effect news on N7 Day because the last 2 years, the last like 3 or 4 years, N7 Day has just been like bullshit. They come out and they're like, Happy Mass Effect Day. Here's nothing.
I really like how literally 3 minutes ago you just said, when you saw the Korea post, you said, I'll believe it when I see it.
Right.
And now you are on board, fully sold.
No, I said yesterday when I saw the Korea post. I didn't think about N7 Day until today, just like an hour ago when I looked at this again.
Okay. I thought that this all just changed.
No.
3 minutes.
Yesterday when I read the Korea thing, I was like, fuck it. This will happen maybe. I don't care. If it might happen. But now, within 7 days, so close, less than a month away. Now I believe.
We need to make a plan. We need to have some, like, essentially emergency button that we each have, where if we get the news, like just the world's tiniest bottle of champagne, where if we get the news during Extra Life, we can be like, it happened.
Okay, I gotta make a note because I have a thought. I'm gonna make a thing, and if it happens, it happens. At some point, I'll play the thing. At some point, we're getting Mass Effect remasters.
You could make it on an actual digital thing for Twitch.
Yeah.
I forget that's a thing.
That's a thing. Yeah,
can be done. It doesn't have to be IRL. So.
No. Mass Effect. Please be true. I believe. I believe the Gatorade Get Hype moment is coming on N7 Day. E3 or not E3. Extra Life. Make it happen. Maybe if we raise our Extra Life goal, they'll announce Mass Effect Trilogy Remaster.
You heard it here. If we don't raise enough money, nobody will get Mass Effect.
Nope. You want Mass Effect Trilogy Remastered? Donate to Extra Life, please.
Donate to the kids.
Doesn't honestly even have to be us. I would love it if it was, but just donate some money to Extra Life. Make it happen.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Real quick, next up, we'll talk a little bit about launch lineups. Xbox officially confirmed their Microsoft officially confirmed their Xbox Series X and S launch titles. There are going to be 30 games that are fully optimized for next-gen systems upon release. None are exclusive to next-gen, which that doesn't need to be in there, GamesIndustry.biz, but okay. Brandon Sinclair gives us the list here, which is just taken directly from Microsoft's thing. But we got Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Borderlands 3, Bright Memory 1.0, Cruisin' Royale, Dead by Daylight, Devil May Cry 5, Dirt 5, Enlisted, Evergate, The Falconeer, Fortnite, Forza Horizon 4, Gears 5, Gears Tactics, Grounded, King Oddball, Man-Eater, Manifold Garden, NBA 2K21, Observer, Systems Redux, Ori and the Will of the Wisps, Planet Coaster, Sea of Thieves, Tetris Effect, The Tourist, War Thunder, Warhammer, Watch Dogs Legion, WRC 9 FIA World Rally Championship, that is a mouthful, Yakuza, Like a Dragon, and Yes, Your Grace. That is the full list there. Most of those are basically just optimized versions. I'm trying to look in... I'm trying to see which of these are like new games. So Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Grounded, right? Is Grounded out or is Grounded still in beta?
I'm not 100% sure. I know that you can play it, but I don't know if it's a beta or not.
I'm gonna say like this year, I guess.
Yeah, it's newer.
So Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Grounded. Manifold Garden came out this year.
Ori and the Will of the Wisp came out this year, right?
Yes, I think.
2020 has just been so messed up.
Watch Dogs Legion, Yakuza Like a Dragon, and Yes, Your Grace. So 7.
Yeah, March 11th, 2020.
Okay, so 7 new games. Though none of those are like new, like launch date. None of those are next gen focused games.
No.
None of them are even games that come out after launch day or on launch day. Most of those have already been out. So that's Microsoft's first, not first party. That's their day one lineup that'll be optimized for Series X. PlayStation 5's launch lineup, on the other hand, this list comes from Push Square, includes Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Astro's Playroom, Borderlands 3, Bugsnax, Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War, Demon's Souls, Destruction All-Stars, Devil May Cry 5, Fortnite, Godfall, Just Dance 2021, Maneater, Marvel's Spider-Man Miles Morales, Marvel's Spider-Man Remastered, Mortal Kombat 11 Ultimate, NBA 2K21, Observer System Redux, Planet Coaster Console Edition, Sackboy A Big Adventure, The Pathless, and Watch Dogs Legion. Of those games, I think all of them, with the exception of... I don't know what Observer System Redux is. That was on Xbox's list too.
Yeah.
But all of those games are new this year.
Not Fortnite, but regardless.
Sure, not Fortnite. Yeah, so Fortnite...
Two out of 21 are not new.
Yeah.
Instead of 7 out of 30 being new.
Right. And then true, like, first party, like, launch titles. There's a few of them. Bugsnax. Well, I guess Bugsnax. This is so weird. Like, because Bugsnax is on PS4 too. I guess, well, like, so as far as PS5, mainly PS5 games.
Exclusive?
Demon Souls, PS5 exclusive.
Yes.
Spider-Man, I'm going to say, Remastered is definitely PS5 exclusive. I'm going to include Miles Morales in there too, even though, again, it's kind of on PS4. And then there was one other one, Godfall. Are true games there. True PS5 games, I guess.
Yes.
So those are the launch lineups. It's like I don't know. I look at Xbox so much differently than I did 2 months ago. Because when they canceled, or not canceled, they didn't cancel it. When they delayed
Infinite.
Halo Infinite, at that point I was like, well, fuck. And as far as launch lineups go, I'm still like, well, fuck. Like, there's nothing on Xbox's list that warrants buying an Xbox Series X other than like the benefits of
one. Yeah.
Unless you obviously like the speed and the power and all that stuff is great. But like none of this is like you need to buy an Xbox Series X,
or else you're gonna miss out on day one content. Yeah, for sure.
Sony, on the other hand, I think has definitely the stronger lineup here.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm excited about a lot of these games. I don't know what I'm going to do with Spider-Man. I'm definitely buying Miles Morales. The question is, do I want to buy the Ultimate Edition and get the remastered version too? Because I'm pretty sure there's going to be a new trophy list there. So I could probably platinum the game again.
Ooh.
And they upgraded the character model of Peter Parker. New face model. So, maybe.
See.
Last little news story for the day is about GameStop. And I don't really know what to make about this. I don't understand what this is about.
I don't either. At least based on the first little bit.
So GamesIndustry.biz, James Batchelor over at GamesIndustry.biz wrote this article. Microsoft will share digital revenues with GameStop on every Xbox it sells. Details have emerged about a partnership between Microsoft and GameStop that will see the retailer receive a share of all digital revenues generated by a console sold in their stores. The agreement has been rumored, but investment advisor Domo Capital Management claimed via Twitter that it had received confirmation from GameStop. The chain will get a share of all downstream revenue for customers it brings into the Xbox ecosystem this generation. Essentially, if a customer has purchased their Xbox Series X or S from any GameStop branch, the retailer will get a share of each digital purchase the user makes, whether it's full game downloads or downloadable content. Domo even claims this applies when the DLC is being purchased for a physical-based game that was bought at another retailer, providing the DLC is being bought from the Xbox store. This also extends to pre-owned Xbox Series X and S consoles, with GameStop reporting to Microsoft every unit that it sells. It's unclear whether a similar arrangement exists with Sony. GamesIndustry.biz has reached out to GameStop for more information. Earlier this month, GameStop announced a multi-year strategic partnership with Microsoft. While the bulk of the agreement focuses on back-end services such as cloud-based business applications that will help run the stores, in parentheses, Microsoft Outlook, there was a line hinting at this digital revenue share. GameStop and Microsoft will both benefit from the customer acquisition and lifetime revenue value of each gamer brought into the Xbox ecosystem, the announcement reads. It could be a valuable lifeline to the struggling retailer, which has suffered under the shift towards digital distribution and the length of the current console lifecycle. The pandemic has also had an impact on the business. Last month, it increased the number of stores it planned to close by the end of the fiscal year to between 400 and 450 stores.
So basically, Microsoft is throwing GameStop a bone, right?
Right. So what this means is when GameStop sells a console, it doesn't even matter if it's a new console or a pre-owned console even.
If you bought it from GameStop, they will get a percentage of all digital sales tied to that console.
Including DLC, even if you bought a physical copy of a game from another store. So let's say you bought a pre-owned Xbox Series X from GameStop, and then you go over to Target and you buy Call of Duty, whatever. Then when you bring it home, you pop Call of Duty in, and hey, look, there's a season pass. I'll buy the season pass. GameStop now gets a share of that DLC that you just bought, even though you bought the game at Target. And that includes used consoles. So GameStop is going to tell Microsoft how many used Xbox Series X and S it sells. I guess.
I have two main thoughts about this currently. The first thought is, God, I never want to step foot in a GameStop again, because all that they're going to do forever now is try to sell you an Xbox Series X. They will be shoving that down your throat so hard. It used to be pre-orders. Now it's going to be this console. So no thanks. Thought number two. Is Microsoft just going to buy GameStop? That's what this feels like, a weird way to start that process.
Why?
Yeah.
Why? Why would you do that?
I don't know.
Microsoft just got out of the retail space. They just closed all the Microsoft stores. There's one now, and it's in Times Square. Just like there's one Nintendo store. It's like there's one space out there that they have a retail thing.
Why is there only one Nintendo store in the US?
I don't know.
Why can't, like, I get that there can't be one in every, like, major city. But really? Just New York? You're not going to have one, like, on the West Coast at least? Or Chicago? Or, like, the major cities?
I don't understand what Microsoft is getting out of this.
I don't either.
Is GameStop really selling that many Xboxes?
Yeah,
and you do see, like, at Microsoft, you have to be paying attention to how GameStop has just fucking fallen off the face of the earth this generation. They're closing 450 stores.
And they, like, that thing with the branch managers a couple months, maybe a year ago, where, like, people who had worked there for, like, 15 plus years were, like, getting laid off suddenly.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's just, GameStop is bad news after bad news.
And
you don't want to board a sinking ship.
No. Why are they and they're just giving money away, it seems like.
Yeah.
Why? Why are you doing that? I don't understand what Microsoft could possibly get out of this. So let's say they do buy GameStop. What does that get them? It gets them a ton of, like, wasted capital. Like what are you going to do with the stores? How is Microsoft going to fix it? Why would Microsoft want to fix it?
Yeah. Especially in the age of a pandemic. You had mentioned that, like, it would be cool to turn GameStops into actually a place for people to, like, get together. But now that we have COVID, no thanks. I will play with everybody from the comfort of my home where I know nobody has COVID.
Especially, like, even take COVID out of it. We're already, as a society, moving away from brick and mortar stores.
Yeah, for sure.
I really don't understand what this is.
However, you should all support your local bookstores.
Sure.
I follow the Book Loft on Twitter, and they make my day almost every day. Like, I forget, I can find it real quick, but they tweeted about Prime Day, and they pretty much said like, if anybody mentions Prime Day, it'll be a Prime Day for an ass whooping. They're just unapologetic, and I love it.
So, a couple things. Domo Capital Management is the one that claimed this via Twitter. There's no confirmation from either GameStop or Microsoft that this is a thing. I
Could all be lies.
assume that because GamesIndustry.biz reported on this, that Domo Capital Management has to be at least somewhat reputable. Because GamesIndustry.biz is the one website out there that I feel does the best work. Like, they do good work when it comes to this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It has not been confirmed, and then they also put in here that it's unclear whether or not this sort of deal also
is in place for PlayStation.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know why it would be though.
Yeah. What does Sony get out of that?
Like, did GameStop 2 generations ago, with the weight that they had back then, say, okay, we're not going to sell your consoles in our stores, which is the biggest
very
balls.
Bad business decision.
Like, unless you give us a percentage of all the digital sales you make, and this is just something that's carried over since then. It's just Microsoft and Sony have all of the power.
Yeah.
Sony and they both.
GameStop has negative power at this point. They are losing stores.
And they don't need them. They don't need GameStop. No. There's so many other retail outlets out there. If GameStop goes under, I've seen people out there that are like, if GameStop goes under, it's going to be a sad day for gaming. Because GameStop's the one store that like exists for gamers. It's like, okay, yes, but other than like the fact that they only sell gaming stuff, what does GameStop bring to the table? What are they giving you? Nothing that you can't get anywhere else. I just don't understand how GameStop could command like that good of a deal from Microsoft.
Yeah.
Microsoft, who has all the power in the world, all the money in the world, they're just going to basically give some to GameStop out of the goodness of their hearts?
They're going to roll over for no reason? Like, I don't get it.
This is like, man, this is a deep cut. There's the old Drunk History videos. Before Drunk History was a TV show, it was a YouTube series by College Humor.
Yes.
And there was a Drunk History done about Nikola Tesla, and it stars John C. Reilly as Nikola Tesla.
I think I've seen that one.
And he goes on about like electricity and about how like Nikola Tesla's idea about electricity goes against capitalism because he doesn't believe that there needs to be like power plants owned by capitalists and that kind of thing. This is that.
Yeah.
This is that exact same situation, except with games and GameStop. Microsoft did like, there's no need to give them that money. Why would you do that? Why would you give them free money?
There truly is no reason.
So that's perplexing.
I don't. Yeah, I'm just never gonna understand why.
I don't think we ever
why
will.
That's a thing.
I don't think we ever will.
The only way we ever will is if in like a couple months Microsoft's like, hey, we're buying GameStop. Then I'll be like, okay, this I guess makes sense for some. I don't see how it makes sense, but like some business analysts might be able to see.
I don't understand what GameStop brings to the table. Like, what does Microsoft get by buying GameStop other than I guess it could stop selling Sony, like it could stop selling PlayStations? Like GameStop is now only selling Microsoft stuff. It also will have a small Nintendo corner. That's it. You do realize that like at least 50% of the gaming at least 50%, more like 75% of the gaming population plays on PlayStation. Where do you think most of GameStop's revenue is coming from? I don't know that it's the Xbox ecosystem.
Maybe that's it. Maybe GameStop leveraged the percentage of sales and said, hey, we're going to become a Sony and Nintendo exclusive store and box you out.
The balls on the GameStop CEO to do that.
Listen, at this point, what does he have to lose?
That's true. That's true.
He's just going he's doubling down.
That's fair. You know what? That's the most plausible explanation I could possibly think of.
He's like, hey, Microsoft, you only bring in like, let's say PlayStation brings in 65% of their sales and Nintendo brings in 15%. So Xbox is only bringing 20% of our sales.
You need to bump that up.
we're gonna cut you out unless you sweeten this deal somehow.
Man. I'll take that. That's the new headcanon going forward.
Yeah.
Until we find out otherwise, that's what it is. The GameStop CEO, their board of directors or whatever, they're just, they're swinging for the fences because it's the ninth inning and they're down by a lot.
They need a comeback. They need a win.
All right. That was all the news. If we missed anything, let us know on Twitter. You can find me on Twitter at Josh. No, why the fuck do I still do that? Why do I do that? John, why? Why do I do that?
It's because of me.
On Twitter, I am at CDR Magnus. John is on Twitter at John Kameko. From now on, when I finish the show, I just need to look over at Streamlabs or look over at the Twitch stream and look at my Twitter handle that is on the thing. It's right there. It's on my face. I see it. But I look at your face when I'm saying it, and I never remember. You can also find me on Twitch. If you're on Twitch right now, if you're watching it, you know where to find me. If you're listening to the podcast, though, on the podcast services, you can find me on Twitch at CDR Magnus. Extra Life is coming up. Saturday, November 7th is Extra Life Game Day. We will be broadcasting over here on Twitch for 24 hours to the benefit of Nationwide Children's Hospital in Columbus, Ohio. So please donate towards that if you can. You can find the link to Extra Life down in the description. Or not the description. You can find it in the description on YouTube if you're watching the YouTube channel, or in the panels down on the Twitch page. You can also donate in those panels. There are lots of rewards for you this year. There are prize giveaways. There are content things that John and I are going to do at some point. So take a look at that and donate if you can. Extra Life 2019.
Yeah,
I have
when
to
are we
talk to
doing
John either this Saturday or next weekend, probably. Or I guess we could do it a weeknight too. We'll talk off air.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
2019, we have we have a video that we have to make for that, which includes our 2019 goals that we met.
We got some stuff to wrap up.
So look for that on YouTube or the stream live that'll be here coming up in the next couple of weeks. And I think that's it. Join us on Discord. Come join the Discord server. Submit some memes. Participate in some discussion.
It is a good time. We use it. It doesn't just sit there.
It doesn't. Come be friends. Be our friend.
Come talk to us.
Anything else for the good of the order?
Nah.
All right. Have a good weekend. We'll see you all next time.
Peace out.